Now that I'm holding the mic, I wonder if I should just hold the mic all the time.
Yeah, maybe. I guess as long as it's not like, as long as you're not like fidgeting with it.
God, we could just record on the couch if we just hold the mic all the time.
That's also true. It feels informal, but maybe that's good. It feels more sort of freeing than
An
sitting at the table.
informal cast.
Okay, so in the rare occurrence that we turn this into a released commentary track, we are about to watch The Fast and the Furious 2001.
Which will later be named The Fast and the Furious. They'll drop the
You
first
just said
V.
the same thing. Fast and Furious is the fourth one. Now it's the first one, The Fast and the Furious. And we're starting it. I can't see the timestamp because of reasons that are complicated.
Why
And,
did we decide on these movies?
You did, man.
Yeah, I wanted these movies because they've been around for the past 20 years, and I feel like, other than James Bond, maybe they're the longest running franchise of movies. That's probably not true,
I don't think so.
but they just seem to really encapsulate modern culture.
Well, I don't know, but they're really fucking popular, and we'll see how much they
I
encapsulate.
haven't seen them.
Yeah, neither of us have seen any of these films, these flicks, these pictures, and we are going to watch all 8 extant Fast and Furious movies in ostensibly one sitting, possibly 2. We'll comment on that later. Anyway, let's just fucking hit play on this shit.
Let's do it.
Okay, it's the Universal logo if you want to watch along. It's probably about 5 seconds in to the entire playtime. You can see the lights coming off of... Where do you think that is on the globe?
Alaska.
Is it?
I don't
Oh,
know.
maybe
Iceland. I think that's Iceland.
Iceland is huge then. That's the fucking Earth, man.
That is Earth. No, I mean on the leftmost, the rightmost corner. I think that's Iceland.
It's still way too big to be Iceland.
Is that too big to be Iceland?
I think your first guess was probably way more likely. That could be Alaska, and there's the Bering Strait connecting over to Russia.
That's true.
Let's say that's what it is. Anyway,
I never
3,
took geography. Okay?
2, 1, Netflix, press play.
Go, 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 go.
And we have begun. Where was it? I didn't look. I think that was right. I think what we said was right the first time.
Are we gonna full screen this?
No. I'm going to make it smaller, okay?
Awesome. I like for things to be small, like micro machines. Micro machines were cars. Did you know that?
Oh, that thematic.
It's
Okay.
very thematic.
I think I might turn down the movie track. It's a little
Forever.
Yeah.
We probably don't need
Should
sound.
we could watch it on mute. Also, I'm gonna put on English captions.
That's fine.
Just because.
Are we gonna leave? Are we gonna leave these movies behind, thinking, "God damn, let's get some cars"?
I hope so.
Did you see all those CRTV TVs they had?
I
in that
blanked
truck?
out. I just thought it was a truck full of electronics.
Truck full of CRTs. There's like a weird collector's market for CRT TVs. I know this because I'm into.
I don't know what that is. What's a CRT?
It's like the cathodian ray tube. So like old TVs before we lived in the flat age era
Okay.
had this like I guess tube on the inside. They call it cathodian. I'm probably cathodian. I don't know. I have to look up on Google later. But old TVs are called CRT.
Okay. You know, all I'm thinking about is the fucking these headphones are pretty good, but the car sounds are really fucking loud. I bet they're bleeding into the mic through the headphones.
I don't think so.
I don't know, because like the other day, hang on. Oh, actually, it's not that bad. The other day, I was listening to something, and I took the headphones off, and I could really hear it coming out of the headphones. But they're supposed to. These are like closed.
Yeah, they are
whatever
closed
they're called.
here, yeah.
Like front closed or rear closed, whatever. Anyway, this is not a movie about driving headphones. It's a movie about driving cars.
And cars are loud. Especially these cars.
To give a sense of the low stakes, the relatively low stakes of the first film, aside, we've never seen any of these movies, but I can speak only for myself, I know a fair amount about them because I've listened to other podcasts make fun of a lot of these movies, and I know that generally what happens throughout the franchise is the stakes get raised and raised and raised from one movie to the next, to now they're at the point where the 9th one is going to come out, I believe, early next year. There's Paul Walker.
No longer with us, right?
Nope. Famously died from driving too fast. There's a funny thing about the We Hate Movies podcast. They, way back in the day, they made a joke about Paul Walker, and they were saying like how he's kind of this forgettable middle of the road actor, but they kept saying, don't worry about Paul Walker, he's going to be just fine. And they meant it. They meant like he's rich and he's like good looking, so like even though he's not a good actor and he does dumb movies, don't worry about him, he's got a great life. But they released the episode and he died. So like even to this day, this was like, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, they still get fans like tweeting at them like, you insensitive assholes, you know Paul Walker's dead, right? So it's just like a running joke on the podcast that like whenever they want someone to die who's not dead, they say,
he'll be just
so and so
fine?
is going to be just fine. I think they said recently like Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's like shitty son, who's also an actor, he's going to be just fine. I think he was also friends with Paul Walker or something. Anyway, anecdote about a funny podcast on our podcast. Man, this looks old, doesn't it?
It does look old.
Like, I always assume Netflix, like, I don't know, like, is going to make everything look slick. But even movies from 2001 look fucking ancient.
They do. It was 20 years ago, man. Look at how yellow the color palette is.
But still, like, the film stock looks like it's like from the 80s or something. It doesn't make me think of the 2000s. I don't know. It's just me.
I think I know what you mean. Was this a year or 2 years before Kill Bill?
Ooh,
Because Kill Bill looks much newer
Kill Bill
than
was
this.
2003?
Okay, so 2 years
No,
before
I'm
Kill
asking.
Bill.
I'm not really sure. I can't remember.
I think it was either 2003 or 2002, and I'm not sure.
I think, yeah, maybe even 2004 for the second volume. Oh yeah, why do you bring that up?
Just because we watched it recently with Tommy, and that movie looks much newer than this.
Yeah, I think because it's just a
It
way
is.
better movie that was had like a real cinematographer, and yeah, it was made by Tarantino, who like loves his movies and crafts them carefully and probably makes sure they're gonna look timeless or whatever.
That is true.
This movie is trapped in time. It will never get out of it.
These people look fucking horrible.
Yeah, I'm really not paying attention to any of the plot. There was an egregious shot of, what's her name? Michelle Rodriguez, I think, that actress. They had like the camera like panning up and down her body as she got out of the car. Classic movie stuff.
Everyone seems so aggressive.
They are. This is an alpha movie for alphas, starring alphas. Paul Walker truly is like a very bland actor. Like he radiates blandness. $2.95, faggot. Both those things are dated cultural relics.
Yeah.
What is this song? Is it just some generic song?
I think so. I don't remember this song at all.
Watch your back.
Vin Diesel looks small in this movie.
He does look a lot smaller.
I guess it's pre-steroids Vin Diesel.
He also just, like, I think he got fat.
Yeah.
Fatter.
It's okay. You play enough Dungeons and Dragons and you get fat. I know from personal experience.
I saw some picture of him, like, smoking a cigarette out on a balcony with, like, a really shockingly large gut hanging out.
Oh,
like,
I think I've seen this picture.
Yeah, he's got no shirt on, I think.
It reminds me of the Ben Affleck pictures.
Yeah. It's like these stars when they're, like, between movies just letting themselves go.
I'm always curious if I would be friends with them. Probably would be.
Vin Diesel?
Yeah. I think that Vin Diesel might be someone that I accidentally liked if I ever met him in person.
I always assumed he's an idiot and an asshole, but, like, maybe he is secretly, like, a cool guy and, like, a nice guy at least. Hearing that he likes nerdy shit kind of made me like him a little more.
I like games, so I mean, theoretically, I just like him because he likes games.
Do you know about his obsession with the very, like, forgotten animated cartoon series Street Sharks?
No, I don't, but I know what Street Sharks are.
Oh, so you know Street Sharks?
I do know Street Sharks.
Okay, well, Vin Diesel, I didn't know it until kind of recently when, like, other podcasts were, like, talking about it and ripping on how bad it was.
It was a hack version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There were so many of those too back in the day.
There was.
But Street Sharks seemed like one of the absolute worst of them. But there's some video you can find on YouTube of Vin Diesel talking about Street Sharks, and in front of him is just like a bunch of Street Sharks, like sharks, like figures, action figures, or something like that. Some kind of collectible Street Shark thing.
Sorry.
And he's just, like, going on, like, really lovingly about how much he loves Street Sharks.
I don't know.
I haven't actually watched it. I've just heard it described, and I think I heard the audio of it somewhere.
I'm pretty sure I've watched every episode of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I don't think I ever watched Street Sharks.
I didn't know Street Sharks. I keep saying sharks. Yeah.
I remember it existed because it was like in that weird like 7 a.m., 6 a.m. cartoon block before school, but I wasn't up that early.
Maybe it was a regional thing and I just completely missed it because I watched all of those. I mean, I watched cartoons as a kid, like everybody.
You were a human as a kid? I mean, you were a child once?
I was a human as a child.
You were a human child. Not a robotic child. Why are they opening the... I don't understand.
Because they want to polish their engines, didn't you see?
Does that make cars faster if you polish the engine?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I know that. I'll fucking listen to the soundtrack.
So, in the early 2000s...
You registered who that was, right?
No.
That was fucking Limp Bizkit, man.
Aha.
That's the most dated thing I think that's come up so far in the movie.
Well,
and this is
this movie popular with those Street Fight boys? They love Limp Bizkit.
I think they probably hate these movies, though.
That's very, very true. But this was a time where anyone could afford a car. And I don't know if that's so true anymore. In the early 2000s, it didn't matter who you were. You probably afforded a car. And you could spend all of your money on upgrading your car?
Brian Spillner.
Spillner.
He just made fun of his name, and I was just about to make fun of his name. Damn, the guy beat me to the punch. I wasn't going to say it was a white name. I was just going to say what a fucking weird name.
in this fictional world, the working class is
Oh shit! Look
forced.
who it is. It's Fire Festival.
Oh wow, it is.
Did you watch those documentaries?
I did.
Both of them?
Not both of them.
They're both good.
I watched the Netflix one.
The Hulu one is like I forget which one I watched first, but I watched them both, and they like complement each other really well. So I recommend watching the other one too if you liked, because the Netflix one didn't have the interviews with that asshole, right?
Yeah.
But the Hulu one has extensive interviews with him directly.
Oh, good.
And he looks so scared because he knows he's about to go to jail too. And oh man, fuck that guy so much. I hate that guy. Billy fucking what's his name? Anyway. I gotta say, those Fire Festival movies, much better than this movie so far.
I mean,
wait, that's Michelle Rodriguez.
This dialogue is that was Michelle Rodriguez earlier too, right? She's just changed
now.
clothes.
Okay.
I think her hair was different. But it was her. It was her earlier.
She had sunglasses on. I heard she's got a bit of a drinking problem that surfaced on these movies.
I've heard that I have a bit of a drinking problem.
Who said it? I'll get drunk and knock their teeth in.
Thank you. You know, I use my elbows to press elevator buttons and to touch the faces of my enemies.
Call back.
Elbow strike.
That's a deep cut for the big Heat Death of the Universe fans.
Take the cash, and I take the respect.
What a wooden actor.
I think he looks like a young Joe Biden.
I almost heard you say Jill Biden.
Jill Biden, Joe Biden. Same difference, right?
He actually looks like Hunter Biden.
He does. He's not as cool as Hunter Biden.
Nobody's as cool as Hunter Biden. Except maybe for Vin Diesel playing with Street Sharks figurines.
Vin Diesel can play with whatever toys he wants to. Have you ever noticed that, like...
He looks so much smaller.
No, it's this time period. If you watch a movie from the 90s or even, like, up to about 2002, actors were noticeably smaller. Like...
You mean because they were, like, HGHing and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think there was just, like, less, like, acceptable steroid usage. And also just, like, body standards have changed. Like, I think people are... like, there's always a cultural thing, like this, like, Reddit fitness thing of being like, you gotta get as big as possible. You can't just do, like, push-ups and pull-ups and be like, I'm in shape. You gotta be like, I'm bench pressing 500 pounds.
Yeah, you gotta go for those gains. Stuff I know all about.
I am great at making gains. No, I'm not.
Look at all this sex.
So much
That
sex.
was like the most stereotypical Asian schoolgirl. Look, there's a bunch of them.
They love cars.
Pizza Hut.
They all hang out.
That's got to be product placement, right?
That is definitely a PPL.
They even worked him into the script. He wasn't just like a background ad.
So Pizza Hut paid for this movie.
You know, this movie is fucking so boring, but talking about it is making it so much more fun.
I agree.
Also,
so
drinking beer helps.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, I forgot his name.
So we got about like 7 3/4 more of these movies to go.
We can handle it.
Are you ready?
We're gonna love this franchise.
Are we gonna? I keep thinking about it like what we're embarking on is like
a journey.
It's like an ayahuasca trip
an
or
odyssey.
But like specifically something that's gonna like like that's meant to like push your mind to certain extremes where you're gonna like hallucinate or have like enlightenment.
We're going to dream about cars. Sadly,
cars and
part of
sex.
how I ended up in South Korea is because I really hated having to own a car. And I just love living in a country where you don't have to own a car. It's so easy to get around without one here.
Well, see, this just betrays that you and I are both from small towns. Because you could move to a big city in the U.S. and not need a car as well.
I looked into moving to big cities in the U.S., but I never once had the marketable skills to make enough money to afford to live in a big city.
Yeah, same. Even when I lived in Austin, I didn't have a car, but their public transportation system is so shitty. One of my jobs, one of my many, many terrible jobs I had, I worked third shift at a really, really nasty budget motel, and it took me 2 hours by bus each way. And I was like working the weird hours too, which made it even worse. So like I would finally get done working at like 7 in the morning and then have a 2-hour bus ride to look forward to, like in my like, you know, kind of mildly hallucinating state of having been up all night.
There's so much.
It was a miserable time.
Extravagance in this movie.
The car scenes are super fucking loud. And I sound like a really old man right now, but turn it down, goddammit.
Cars are loud, dude.
Yeah, I think I just keep thinking the sound is gonna bleed into our mics, which doesn't really matter because we're probably not even gonna show this to anybody.
A little personal information. I grew up very close to Bristol Motor Speedway, which is probably the biggest NASCAR like speedway in the world. And that place is so fucking loud that we could hear it.
But this is just street racing.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know. What the fuck? He's got like computers and shit in his car.
Of course.
Here comes the nitrous.
I need NOS. He said that earlier. I need NOS.
Did you see those CGI effects right there?
Well, this is after the Matrix. So this is not just CGI. This is bullet time. No, I'm losing. Oh.
So they got Ja Rule in this one. And then I know later, I don't know if it's in this movie, but some point in this franchise, do you think they just swapped? At some point, Ludacris is like a main guy in these movies. Do you think they just swapped out Ja Rule for Ludacris?
I don't know. Does Ja Rule stay in the movies?
No, I don't think he does.
Okay.
Because I
don't think so.
I think probably,
maybe.
Yeah, man. They probably made a very like calculated like boardroom market research decision of like, well, we still need a black rapper dude, and Ja Rule's out, so find me his Mexican non-union equivalent. Steven Spielbergo. There's like so little to pay attention to in this movie, which is fine, but which means we can just like focus on like the extras and the product placements.
Like part of me thought that maybe, so like, oh, this is telling, but I think the first Rocky movie is actually a really good movie. It won an Oscar. I mean, that doesn't mean much.
I have a fondness for those Rocky movies just because I saw them when I was a little kid.
I've watched the first one as an adult, and I think it actually holds up as just like a good film. And part of me thought that maybe this movie would be like that. That it was going to be like better than I expected. But it's
probably going to be worse. What I am pretty confident about, though, is that from what I hear about these movies, by the time you get to the fifth one, which should be roughly around like, let's say 5 p.m. tomorrow, is when they really start to get like totally over the top, ridiculous, insane, and like all of them from there on out are just like absurdly ramping up the stakes, and they become like
Craig.
They become like FBI agents / like superheroes and shit. I don't know.
Did you watch Craig? Because I think Craig is genius films. Crank 1 and 2.
Oh, Crank. Yeah, I love the Crank movies.
I often confuse Jason Statham with Vin Diesel. I know they're not the same people at all. I feel like Vin Diesel would actually be way better as a person in real life than Jason Statham.
Statham's a better actor, though. And he's not even that great. Vin Diesel's just not good at acting. The movie, what we should watch, I think I mentioned this to you before, like, if we survive this marathon, if we want to do a sort of revisiting to a similar franchise, which also stars Vin Diesel, are the XXX movies. Because those are purely fun trash. Like,
for some reason I thought you were going to say the Pitch Black movies.
No, those sound really awful.
I actually really like those movies.
I haven't seen that. Everything, I mean, I don't know.
Fake. Maybe I like those movies. I liked Pitch Black the first time I saw it 1 billion years ago. I saw the third
XXX movie, and I haven't seen the first two, but the third one was so fucking silly. It was definitely like a fun, bad movie watch. Much more than this first Fast and Furious movie so far. Like, within like the first like 2 minutes of that movie, well, okay, something happens without Vin Diesel, but then as soon as you see Vin Diesel, and I won't spoil what happens because it's kind of hilarious and you should be surprised by it. But when it gets to Vin Diesel, he's living on some island, like tropical island in exile, I forget where. And his friends or whatever, they're all trying to watch like the soccer game. I think he's in some like, South American country or something. And he goes on this whole ridiculous like mission to like get the TV antenna like working again on this small island, which involves him like skiing on like he has some skis, but he there's no snow.
I gotta stop you for a second. This did not happen to Ryan Gosling when Ryan Gosling decided to park his car at the beginning to dry and walk away in a baseball cap. Had Vin Diesel had a baseball cap, he would have been fine.
How dare you bring up a better movie while watching a shitty movie?
Well, Drive.
That's like the thing that I think the Mystery Science Theater guys kind of coined it, but like the We Hate Movies guys talk about it a lot too, is like when you're reminded of a better movie by something that happens in a shitty movie and it just pisses you off, you just like impose that on this movie, which is fine. But anyway, in that XXX movie, he skis down like a fucking jungle like mountain. Like it's I don't know. I feel like I'm not doing it justice, but you have to see how absurd it is. And then he does a bunch of other shit on a skateboard. The whole thing with that movie is he's like an extreme sports guy, but he's also like a super spy, which is a hilarious premise.
Those movies.
I would say even just skip to the third one. I bet the third one is more like, I bet it's funnier than the first two. And I think the second one, Vin Diesel's not even in. It's Ice Cube.
I do like Ice Cube, though.
Yeah, Are We There Yet? Etc.
I haven't seen Friday in a long time.
Oh, yeah, he's good in Friday. But he did a lot of those like dumb kids movies, which is funny, too.
This movie's short. You know something? I miss movies that... This movie's an hour and 20 minutes. I know this because Netflix just, like, popped up its...
Yeah, I hit the mouse there.
The whatever. The length bar. Does that have a name? The progress bar. It's not a progress bar.
Progress bar sounds right, but it's not right.
It's not right.
I don't know. The time bar.
The time bar. Why the fuck are there motorcycle people with guns? What?
Because look,
is this California? Are there people on motorcycles with guns in California? God,
well,
2001 was a different time.
It appears that they're a Chinese gang since they're just going to Chinatown.
Is that statue named Kung Fu Man? Because I really think it said Kung Fu Man on the statue.
All right.
Like, see,
if anyone's actually listening to this along with us, we're gonna go back to the Kung Fu Man to see if it says. Kung
I think that said Kung Fu Man on the statue, which seems like incredibly just racist to me.
I hope you're right, but I don't know. I didn't see. No.
Kung Fuji. Okay. I guess
I think
I'm the person who's.
Yeah, you're the.
I see fucking Kong and I'm like, Kung Fu Man. God damn it.
I'm guessing that's also probably a real like philosopher or something.
Yeah, I think he is.
Whatever. But it seems that to answer your question, why do people have guns in California? Well, look at them, man. These two bros got in way over their head. Now they're caught up, tangled up with this
snakeskin pants game.
This Pan-Asian gang.
They wear snakeskin pants.
Appears to be like half Southeast Asian actors and half
Korean,
and probably Japanese. Right, now we're just starting to sound like racist anthropologists. In any case, my point stands that there is the generic Asian actor or character in movies a lot. This guy's like James Dean aspiring.
Where are they going?
Do you remember like what you thought of these movies just like when they first came out? Like without seeing, I mean, obviously we haven't seen them before, but I just remember thinking, my God, that looks fucking stupid. I will never watch that. And people were really into it though, even the first one.
People were like super into it, yeah.
And I mean, look it was like we were in high school still at this time.
Yeah.
So like the people I was around were like,
it's 2001.
This is a movie for horny teenage boys. Like, there's all these like shots of these like tarted up girls.
Hey, but that was cool practical effects there.
Yeah, they blew up a car, but this movie fucking sucks. I mean, it's sad that we have to like, practical effects even in a bad movie. That takes me back.
They're going on a 20-mile hike though.
You're paying way more attention.
That's
to this movie
a long walk. No, I just read that because I guess they took a taxi. I just know that a 20-mile hike is a really long walk. Imagine had the rest of the movie just been them on a 20-mile hike. That intro.
That would be amazing.
and then like they had gotten this audience to come and see this movie where like two street racers lose their car to a Chinese gang, and they just do a 20-mile hike where they walk and talk about how they have this race in the desert.
And then suddenly the movie turns into Jerry. Did you ever see Jerry?
I didn't see Jerry.
Do you know about Jerry?
I don't. Tell me about it, cause.
So Gus Van Sant, when he started to Gus Van Sant made this movie called Jerry. This was when he started to make like really annoying, like pretentious movies. Oh, chicks making out. This is everything in a boy's dream life.
Yes.
Jerry is this like slow, painfully slow, like nothing happens in it kind of movie where these two guys, they go out for a hike. I think it's Casey Affleck and I forget who the other actor is. Kind of famous guy. It's just them. They get lost, and the movie is just them like silently walking around for like the whole movie, basically.
That sounds great.
It's not. It's fucking so boring. I fell asleep during it like twice. I mean, no spoilers, but like the only thing that makes the movie kind of interesting is the very, 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 very last scene.
Okay.
But like everything before that is just like, it's so desperately trying to be like this interesting artsy movie, and it's just not.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Some people might have genuinely liked it, but I thought it was. I've never been a huge Gus Van Sant fan, but like when he did that like trilogy of like Elephants, which was fine because at least some stuff happens in that.
Elephant was okay.
And then he did Jerry, and then he did the Kurt Cobain movie, which fucking sucked as well.
I didn't see the Kurt Cobain movie.
It made me so mad, but I had to watch it. And I like Michael Pitt, but like that movie just not. It's no good.
God, I hate this guy so much.
This guy?
How does that...
You hate the bad guy in the movie?
But, like, he's really selling it. He looks like everything I hate in the world. But I think I hate everyone in this movie.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say is, like, no... I'm not on anybody's side.
Everyone I see in this movie, I'm like, God, I hate these people.
I think I like Michelle Rodriguez because I know that she's, like, getting drunk on the set. And, I don't know, she's cute. But she's also stupid. Her character sucks as well.
So she had a drinking problem during this movie, or she's just always had a drinking problem?
I don't know. I read something about, like, at some point on the Fast and Furious movies, it was becoming a problem. And, like, it was more of a, like, she was, like, showing up late, like, hungover, and I think she, like, she got arrested for, like, drink-related things, so... I don't know. I don't know much about it. I don't know much about her at all, really, other than that she's in these movies.
She's also in, like... Is she in any good movies?
I don't know. I can't think of anything else she's been in. And who's this other girl?
I don't remember this actress's name. I feel like I should know it,
I think she's lost to the sands of 2001.
Is she in later films? Probably not.
She doesn't seem that recognizable to me now.
That makes me think she's going to die in this movie.
I don't think they're gonna be. I think, like I was saying before, the stakes are so low, and they just did a Snapple ad right there. Snapple, remember Snapple?
I would love to have some apple Snapple.
Apple Snapple.
Apple Snapple was good. It was like weird because unlike apple juice, it somehow tastes like you were drinking a apple. No, there was Snapple Apple. That's what it's called. Not Apple Snapple, but trust me.
But it's tea. It's like apple flavored tea. That sounds gross.
Is Snapple Apple going to sponsor the podcast? Is Snapple a sellable drink anymore?
Yeah, you can buy it in Korea.
Oh, I had no clue.
Very
expensive, I imagine.
No, I was gonna say it's few and far between, but I've seen it. I've bought a peach one somewhere, like more than once.
I've bought Arizona tea here before.
Yeah, that was kind of weird to see.
And it's expensive here compared to America. It's really cheap in America.
99 cents.
It's like $3 here.
Really?
It seems expensive. Because I know it's 99 cents at Walgreens. I keep mentioning all these places.
It's more than 4,001 for a tall Snapple. I mean, Arizona iced tea.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow. I just imagined anybody actually listening to this commentary track.
I know. Look at that nice pool, though. Oh, I guess it's Elizabeth Taylor's house in the 50s. That's why there's a nice pool.
Look at the ancient technology.
Cops were overfunded even in 2001.
Look at those fat-ass computers.
Those computers also have cathodic ray tubes. Those monitors are CRT monitors.
Holy shit! It's Buffalo Bill. Ted
is.
Levine.
Probably the best actor in this movie.
Oh, definitely. I just realized I saw his name on the whatever the thing on Netflix.
He's going to.
And I thought, oh, this might be good for the movie.
Outshine everyone.
Yeah, he already has. He's been on screen for like 10 seconds.
And you like trust his character. You're like, I believe this.
I'm not even listening to what he's saying. I'm lost in his eyes. His Buffalo Bill eyes. I have a feeling he's not returning to the other Fast and Furious movies, though. We'll see.
Do you think he was happy about this choice? Or do you think he was just like, yeah, I need to make some money?
I think it was
month.
very much just another job for him. He's like a
career actor?
Grindstone kind of actor, yeah.
That makes sense.
He was in the most recent Jurassic Park movie, which was really bad. But
it was really bad.
Do you remember his character, though?
No.
Really? Wait, did you see the most recent one?
I think I watched it. I'm almost 100% sure I watched it, but oddly, I don't remember anything about it.
He played like he was almost kind of like the evil version of
Jeff Goldblum's character.
No, the guy who's this clever girl, Muldoon, in the first one. He had like this similar kind of like hat and like
I
clothes.
remember now, actually.
And his whole thing was that he collected the teeth of the dinosaurs that he killed. He was all about hunting and killing the dinosaurs.
I remember now.
And yeah, the way he dies is kind of hilarious. Like he's about to take the tooth out of this weird hybrid dinosaur that they made, and it like comes back to life and fucking just swallows him whole or something. Bites him in half.
Everyone in this film is so fashionable. I feel like all these clothes are coming back in style. As odd
Suddenly, this movie looks like it's like about to turn into a porno.
It probably is.
Like the way Vin Diesel is kind of posing right there is like he's getting ready to fuck like any second. And not the girls around. He's expanding his horizons.
Vin Diesel. I wouldn't be surprised if he's dabbled in porn at some point of his life.
That's what I was thinking. That's what made me think of the whole thing. Is the way he was like talking to Paul Walker was very sort of flirty, but like in a bad like porn actor kind of way. Like,
was this his first movie?
Probably not his very first. It was definitely his first like starring movie. I'm pretty sure. Nobody really knew who he was until these movies.
They made him famous.
Oh, he was in he is kind of, you forget it, but as soon as you see it, you remember. But he had kind of a memorable part in Saving Private Ryan.
Oh.
He has a really intense death in that movie.
Okay.
It's when I rewatched that movie kind of recently, and
I haven't seen it in so long.
That's like the only time he seems like a legitimate actor is in that movie.
Is it good, Saving Private Ryan?
I still have a soft spot for it, and I think I get why like it's got a lot of like kind of like patriotic horse shit messaging to it, but like I still like it. That opening scene, the D-Day scene, is still really incredible. Like just as like a piece of filmmaking, but also like that movie is stacked with like so many actors like that you forget are in it because they're like huge actors are in it for like a second. Ted Danson shows up as like a fucking commanding officer, but he like says like 2 words, then he's gone.
Speaking of people I really like, Ted Danson's great.
Yeah.
Most recently in The Good Place, which is one of my favorite sitcoms ever made.
Yeah, I like
Genius. But his HBO show with Jason Schwartzman.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Is literally one of my favorite things ever made.
Yeah, that show's great.
I can't think of his name.
Bored to Death.
Yeah, Bored to Death. Duh. He looks so angry at the barbecue grill. Yo, Vince. Oh.
But yeah, Saving Private Ryan holds up. You'll forget how fucking long that movie is too, or I did. Like when I was watching on Netflix and I was like, "Holy fuck, this is like 3 hours long."
God, everyone in this world is an asshole.
Yeah, this movie sucks.
How are they? Well, they have a house in. Do they live in San Francisco? Is this L.A.?
Okay, so here comes the other theme that I'm aware of about these movies is family. It's all about family. Like he has, and they always there's more product placement. Coronas. That's their thing. I think in like all the movies, they end up having these like cookouts or meals together, and Vin Diesel literally says like, "The most important thing is family."
This movie's pre-sriracha.
Yeah, they just got like.
I bring this up because there's no sriracha on that table, and I feel like nowadays you can't go to any table without seeing sriracha.
Yeah, it's been in vogue for a while.
A pre-sriracha world seems like a world I do not want to live in.
I'm not gonna let the fucking trendiness of sriracha ruin sriracha.
Man,
for
I
me,
fucking
though.
love sriracha. It's great. It's
They're
a near perfect
what's
sauce.
going on? Isn't that the bad guy?
Nah, he's suddenly decided to be part of the family again.
What? When did that happen?
I don't know. This movie's like Goodfellas.
Yeah,
You come in and
that's
out
the
of the
last
family.
time you're gonna hear that comparison.
It's been a while since I've seen Goodfellas, but the scene's exactly the same. Just
you mean the scene where they go to the mom's house to eat dinner in the middle of the night?
Isn't that the same thing?
No, they're having a fucking cookout in the middle of the day.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a little different. But,
And they didn't just kill somebody.
but imagine if Martin Scorsese directed Fast and the Furious.
It would still be shit.
They gave Martin Scorsese this script in 2001 and said, "You're directing it." And he's like, "Well, okay."
So it would just have like Robert De Niro way too old in the Vin Diesel role. And none of that fucking a de-aging effect.
That's a good point.
Did you see The Irishman?
No, I didn't see The Irishman.
I thought it was fucking overrated as fuck.
I meant to watch it. I never got around to it.
And the de-aging thing looks so weird and bad. It's such a waste of money. It's like, look, I respect Robert De Niro as much as the next guy, but like,
This guy,
fucking let it go.
this guy wearing a mesh shirt just called someone else a punk. It's real weird to me.
He also called Paul Walker a faggot.
He
in the
did call
beginning.
Paul Walker a faggot. Spider-Man in the first Spider-Man movie calls someone a faggot. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie.
He says it in his Spider-Man gear.
No, he says it.
That would be really funny. If he was just like web slinging around and was like, "See you later, faggots."
It was okay apparently that time. It was way more okay. Like I think about the world.
I mean, you and I just got canceled for even just repeating it, quoting it.
In weird ways, the world's gotten better as it became way less okay to say the offensive shit that we were just saying and do not endorse.
Yeah, I don't endorse it as saying it with the intention of trying to
Insult people,
hurt someone, or degrade like homosexuality in general. But I think it's kind of absurd that, I don't know, I'm almost about to veer into territory of like, why can't I say the N-word?
Yeah. I know.
But you know what I mean? Like, there's like some
censorship's weird. It's a weird,
certain
touchy place.
self-censorship makes me feel like I would feel so much weirder if I said they called them the F word than just like repeating the dumb word.
I would too.
And also, nobody's gonna listen to this shit. I don't know.
Oh, they will.
That Red Scare podcast has sort of liberated my self-censoring of certain words. Maybe for the worse.
I still haven't.
I
been
found
listening
myself
to
saying
it.
the word retarded the other day, and I was like, God damn it, Red Scare.
I haven't said retarded in a while.
But I said it like without even thinking, and it was like totally because I've been listening to that podcast, and they say it all the time to like be I mean, I think they're trying to be edgy.
This
something.
is L.A., right?
It's got to be. Yeah, that Chinatown area seemed very L.A.
Okay.
Wait, maybe it's
not Chicago.
No, because when they were having the cookout.
Is it Vegas?
No, I was gonna say San Francisco.
Oh, it could be San Francisco. The houses remind me of San Francisco. So every
think
character in this movie is incredibly rich, or was San Francisco still affordable in 2001?
Also, I don't think this is San Francisco because they would have had an establishing shot with the fucking bridge by now.
That's a good point. But if it's in LA, they have to have those fucking tunnels. You know the tunnels from Greece where the street race is in like the end of Greece.
I've never seen Greece.
There's the same tunnels in Drive. Okay. Whenever he takes the single mom on the date and he's driving through all those tunnels, those are the tunnels that the street race in Greece happened in. And they're in a ton of movies, and I can't think of the name of the tunnels. But like they're like a big LA thing, and I feel like if you're doing a car movie in LA, you can't make a car movie in LA without including those tunnels.
Yeah, I don't know what the budget was for this thing though either, but I don't know. Like there was something. Oh, they're definitely in California.
Seems like it was high. There's lots of cars. Cars are expensive. I never afforded a new car. In my head, a car from 2001 still seems like a new car.
Yeah. Damn.
Oh no, Vince has a gun. Jeez.
He moans like a cop?
I have said that to a few people.
I gotta screen grab that and save it for later. Oh, I get it. Okay, so they think he's an undercover. He is an undercover cop, isn't that? That's the whole point of this movie. But I didn't even realize that till just now.
He's very good at being undercover.
Did you realize he was an undercover cop?
No.
Because the only reason I know that is in the description.
I didn't read the description. I
did, and I just remembered now that Paul Walker is supposed to be an undercover cop.
Okay.
Race war? Oh, right.
This is about race wars?
No. Listen, I heard about this before too. That's what they call their fucking races. And I think it goes on throughout the whole franchise. So they're always invoking race wars, but they don't get that it has this other meaning, this more common meaning of...
Are you sure they don't have a bigger meaning? Like, are the cars supposed to be a metaphor for actual race wars? Because we've got, like, the Chinese street racers established in the movie. We've got Vin Diesel and the family of white guy street racers.
No. Okay.
We've got Ja Rule.
No, because I only know this...
Who is the underrepresented black street racers?
I know this because when I've heard other podcasts, like, make fun of the movies, these movies... I forget which one it was, but they were, like, laughing about how the characters kept saying... Come on, we gotta get to the race war. We gotta get to the race war soon. And like they're saying it totally, they're like self-consciously, like in this script wise, like whoever wrote these movies is just a fucking moron.
I was just wondering if I could plug this into a USB-C thing. Might not have one though.
Yeah, I've got that one still from before.
What the fuck? This movie's oddly bad.
We gotta start somewhere. I just know they're gonna get better. I'm pretty sure.
I think so too.
I mean, I know for certain once they get to the later ones, they're gonna get a lot better.
I think the second one's supposed to be the worst, by the way.
Really? I remember the Tokyo Drift one, which is the third one.
Okay, I thought that was the second one.
I thought it was too, but then I looked again and I heard because that one doesn't have any of the regular characters.
Well, it's just both really like that one.
I think it's just like a
I remember. It's cool if you can't find it, man.
No, I should be able to find it.
I don't know why that thing died. It should be good for an entire pack. Come on.
I found it. Underneath this.
I'm missing these people complain about not having engines. They have no engines, do they?
You can use this battery.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, sir. That is a battery.
Yeah, I got two of them.
That is a fucking battery.
It's got three inputs, outputs, whatever. Coughing, gagging. Oh damn, shit just got intense.
Get him a cigarette. Get him a cigarette.
Yes, sir.
Just give him a cigarette. Why don't they want to give him a cigarette?
Wait, who do they want to give a cigarette?
Paul Walker. Paul Walker needs a cigarette. Give him a cigarette.
I think if he tried to smoke, it would look weird. So I'm gonna do it for him. Wait, we should have realized he was a cop with the other meeting you had with Ted Levine. I can't fucking keep my mind.
Point.
I can't care about what's going on in this movie.
Just because it happened 20 years ago.
Like, so also what happens with these movies as they go on is they get like bigger and bigger and bigger casts, and like I think by the 8th one they've got like Charlize Theron, The Rock, Kurt Russell. Like
Charlize Theron and Kurt Russell makes these movies.
Yeah, Charlize Theron is like the big villain in like 8.
I heard that new Charlize Theron movie on Netflix was actually pretty good.
What's that?
It's an action. The Old Guard, I think is what it's
Oh,
called.
right. I didn't see it, but
I heard it was good in a bad way. I heard it was a good, bad action movie from various people.
I believe it.
Whereas this is a bad, good action movie. This is a bad action movie.
Oh, okay, so you just reminded me of another movie podcast I listened to, The Flophouse. And the way that they rate movies at the end of their episodes is it a good bad movie, a bad movie, or a movie you kind of like? So why don't we steal their rating system and do that for each one of these, all 8? Or we can think of our own shit. But if we don't, which we might not, because I think these movies are going to ruin our brains, we can just steal theirs. Not steal, pay tribute.
I watched a good car movie recently. I watched Ford versus Ferrari on a whim, and it turned out to be way better than I expected.
Yeah, people kept saying it was good, and
It's really good.
I like what's his name, Christian Bale, but
I do, but sometimes
I just kept
method acting.
yeah, I just
It's got Matt Damon too, and I like Matt Damon.
hot and cold on him. Sometimes he's annoying, but sometimes he's fine. Saving Private Ryan. He is Private Ryan.
That's true.
Yeah, there's that movie. The title just kept. Every time I thought about it, I'm like, it sounds dumb. Like just the title made me not want to watch. And I just heard it's about cars. That's all I knew.
It's good. It's actually a biopic, and the main character in an odd way reminds me of Tommy. Maybe just because the main character, the guy that Christian Bale plays, is British. But he's got a very
Christian Bale rarely uses his British accent in movies.
It's true.
Almost never.
I know. So much so that I often forget that Christian Bale is British.
He does do a good American accent. You ever see The Machinist?
I have.
That movie was fucked up, dude.
He loses a lot of weight.
He looked insane. I think his diet, in quotation marks, for that movie was 1 apple a day.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But do you ever see that there's like, it's kind of, I feel like it's a semi-famous, not really meme, but like just a picture that pops up sometimes where he's like sucking in his cheeks when he's like in that skeletal state.
Yes.
And he's like flopping his arms around. It's fucking terrifying. He looks like an inhuman like monster.
I don't really think, is my mic connected?
Say something again.
Hello.
No. Did you turn it off?
No, it's on. Hello.
It's registering something.
Okay.
But I don't hear it either.
Yeah, I don't hear myself coming through the speakers. That's what I was asking.
It's picking up, but you're right. I don't hear it. Here, wait. Say again.
Hello.
There.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
The volume was down.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Oh, part of why I liked the Ford versus Ferrari movie is the main character, the guy Christian Bale played, I can't think of his name. He basically just got fucked over by Ford Motor Industry, and it just turns out to be a story of a guy who was trying to do his thing, was good at his thing, being fucked by a big corporation.
Yeah, those are always kind of compelling narratives.
Well, actually, I've always been fucked by big corporations, but I've never personally been fucked by a big corporation. I'm just part of the system that fucks everyone by those corporations.
Right. I hear that.
Everyone's so good at driving in this movie. I think.
I thought there was less movie left than there is. This is another thing. This is another thing I've learned. Well, it looks like half.
Yeah, we made it through half.
I thought it
45 minutes, like a TV episode left.
I thought there was like 20 minutes left.
Well, there's like 10 minutes of credits at that time.
That's true. I wonder. I bet the later movies start to incorporate stinger scenes.
What do you mean?
Actually, I'm saying like this one probably doesn't have a stinger because it's the first movie. They probably didn't know they were gonna have another one. But once,
oh, okay.
But well, and the stinger scenes became like the norm, you know, like because of like the Marvel movies and shit.
Oh yeah.
But I've heard. Why do I know so much about this franchise though? I've never seen it. I think the Tokyo Drift one that doesn't have Vin Diesel, there's a stinger scene with him, which is saying like, okay, don't worry guys, that movie sucked, but Vin Diesel, the guy you love, is going to be back in the next one.
Of course he is.
Something like that. Or maybe he just shows up in like the last scene of the movie.
Is this Rammstein?
It sounds worse than Rammstein. It's like Power Man 5000 or some shit.
Oh, you're right.
Or Static X maybe. Just it's rap song, indistinct. Did you see that?
I did. Thank you, Netflix, for letting me know what I'm listening to.
Look at that ass grab. Yeah, this was when nu metal was still viable, I guess. I thought it was dead by this point, but I guess not.
I don't think so. I think it was like died.
I thought it died with like the Woodstock '99 or whatever. But this isn't that long after that.
This is only 2 years later. Why do you think Woodstock '99 killed it?
Because that killed like
music,
a lot of culture, and I guess I associate the Woodstock '99 with like Limp Bizkit, because I think they were on stage when they like all the rioting or whatever started, and they were like burning shit down. That was a real. It's kind of like the way that the Manson murders ended the decade of the 60s, you know, on like a dark note. That's what Woodstock '99 was for the 90s.
I don't know much about Woodstock '99 other than it was like a very big failure.
It was a huge failure, but it also it showed how bad like culture had become at that point. Like,
is there a good documentary or anything about that?
Huh?
Is there any good like documentary or book about?
I don't think there's any documentaries about Woodstock '99. There might be. I remember seeing it live as it was happening on TV, like the all the shit burning down, and just being like disgusted with all of it, because it was like I hated every single one of those bands that was playing there, and
I feel like I might have saw some of it. Guns N' Roses played there.
Did they?
Kind of hate, I think.
Without Axl, though.
Yes.
Who is it? Some other guy sang with them?
I think so.
That's so fucking lame. That makes it even worse than I thought, the whole festival. But there was also all kinds of dark shit, like, supposedly happened there. Like, there was, like, tons of rapes reported. Like, rapes that happened, like, in the mosh pits and shit.
What?
Yeah. It was fucking dark, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like the fucking Manson murders.
Okay.
And it was literally like, okay, the Manson murders, 1969, the very closing out the decade, and then 99, Woodstock, 99. It's just like parts of both of those decades were pretty cool, and then they just ended like on such a shit note. And let's look at the year 2019. Things ended on a pretty dark note as well.
They did.
Maybe things are just always dark, and if you look at the last year of any decade, you could just be like, oh, that was dark. Like 2009 wasn't so great, right?
Amazing we made it through another decade. But we did.
Or did we? I think by the time we get like through watching all these movies, we're going to be questioning whether or not we're alive.
It seems like when this movie was made, everyone is still living in a world of decadence.
The car is fucking hideous,
just a world of decadence. Look at all the money that people are just willing to spend on a car.
I mean, I take your point, but this is also like basically like this is. Like I said before, this is like a fantasy movie for like 13-year-old boys.
That's true.
It's just like, what if you could just
what if
what
I
if
could
what
be a street racing cop?
what if your friends were like your family and you could just hang out all the time and then drive fast cars and get laid all the time and then show up assholes on the street by driving really fast, hit the NOS. God, this music is terrible. I think we got to take note of how the music shifts throughout these movies, or if it does.
Get, like an indie soundtrack at some point.
Well, what if they're still just using like new metal by like the 8th one? Huh?
Is there still like new metal bands making music? There must be, right?
No, I'm saying like, what if they're just using the same old new metal?
Like that, like the K-Rock station that exists in every part of America that hasn't updated their playlist in like 1999. I feel like there's always a bad radio station that only plays music from like 1997 to 99.
I don't know about those things. I mean,
maybe it's a Southwest thing.
Nah, I kind of know what you mean, but I also haven't really like actively listened to like music. Even the last time I had a car before I moved to Korea, like I would listen to the radio, but like I like no, fuck NPR. There's one cool thing in the Chicago area. There's like an actually progressive radio station.
WPRN.
I don't know what it was called, but like they had a couple of radio shows that were like, that was how I actually got really into Bernie Sanders, was listening to that, because one of the shows by this guy, hosted by this guy named Tom Hartman, who's like mostly pretty like decent leftist, at least the last time I checked. He might have like gone like resistance center, but he used to have Bernie on every week, like on the phone, and they would just like take calls from the audience. It was like Fridays with Bernie, like something like that. And I was listening to it during 2011, during like the Occupy thing, so it was like, I don't know, kind of like interesting shit was going on, and I don't know. Anyway, I didn't listen to music. I would just listen to that and just get really fucking angry at politics.
That scene really reminded me of Drive too. This movie has like a poor man's sort of Drive to it.
Maybe Drive is just heavily influenced by Fast and Furious.
I think so. I mean, I know that Drive was actually heavily influenced by a different film, but I think that might have been slightly influenced by this movie. Slightly.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, goddamn wet t-shirt contest. This movie is so dumb.
Yes.
See? No, he said Race Wars.
He did. He definitely said, "Welcome to Race Wars."
I can't hear you, man. I think something's up with your mic.
Yeah, I do too.
Wait. Okay. I can see mine.
Hello. No, watch.
Because your volume is set the same as mine. Maybe try unplugging it. Yours is actually turned up louder than the track and my mic. I think that's better now.
Hello.
Okay, it's...
Hello.
It says that you're
Hello.
but I don't hear it.
I don't hear it either.
I mean, it's being picked up for sure.
Okay, maybe I'm being recorded and it's just not like... I don't know why.
Maybe something stupid happened again.
Oh shit! The guy street racing in this guy is the Hamilton. He's in Hamilton. He plays Ben Franklin. He's also in the Snowpiercer Netflix series. And he's super young there. Sorry. He's a Broadway actor. I can't believe they got a Broadway actor in this movie.
I'm just gonna turn down the movie
okay.
volume. Doesn't make sense. It's
nope.
Weird. It says that you're up. Like,
when I talk, does it pick stuff up?
Yeah, completely.
That's weird. I don't know why.
It's louder than mine, but you can actually hear when I. You can actually hear mine.
Yeah, I hear yours very well.
What's going on? It's so weird. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna turn it up really loud just to see.
Hello.
Now I can hear it better. I'll just keep yours up higher.
Hey, no, I think it died again.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's weird though.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyway, I think I can hear you now.
Oh no, he's racing. Jetta
Welcome to Race Wars.
Honda.
Welcome to Race Wars. Welcome to Race Wars. I'm trying to see if
This is a race war.
Yeah, because you're speaking directly into it.
This is a race war.
So I can hear it now.
Okay.
But also you're turned up louder than.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still a bit quiet. I don't understand why.
It doesn't really make sense, but
so
on the
this kid just lost.
Also, as long as I can hear you at all, it's fine because when I go to edit the tracks, I can make sure your volume's up. But it still is weird.
Yeah, I don't understand, but it's fine.
I just, again, thought about how funny it would be if someone was listening to this commentary track.
I know.
We're just talking about the mics and fucking other movies and other podcasts. I mean,
the mic thing, maybe not.
I mean, I think if anyone would ever even want to listen to this kind of commentary track from us, they're gonna already really like us for whatever reason. So they'll enjoy that kind of minutia.
This is pre-MA being popular everywhere because they're punching each other and they're not doing jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Trust me, in later movies it'll be more jiu-jitsu stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that it gets just a bit more generally martial arts. Jason Statham ends up in these movies eventually too. The guy who you confuse with Vince.
I think they're
Vin Diesel.
Statham is like the British Vin Diesel, right?
I mean, they're both bald. I think the similarities maybe end there.
Bald and they probably work out more than us.
That's a low bar.
Rave culture is alive.
Oh man, I would so much rather be watching Crank.
Crank's incredible.
But I've seen Crank 1 and 2 several times, so it's good to see something new, even if it's terrible. I basically, this is just making me really look forward to, the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th one.
But I'm a completionist. I need to see them all.
Well, we have to. It's the part of the bargain we've struck with the devil. Yeah, and the mission.
We're on a mission from God.
Reference another better movie. I've actually never seen Blues Brothers, though.
That surprises me. That's good.
I don't know. It never appealed to me. I don't get it.
They're on a mission from God.
I just found that whole shtick like kind of cheesy and stupid. But maybe the movie is fun despite this shtick.
I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I found it fun the last time I watched it, which was probably 20 years ago. Kind of old.
Oh shit.
He's not good at being a cop. He's dropping his cover.
He's not good at being an actor. He just has this like confused look on his face when he tries to do dramatic things.
Listen to me.
Is she Vin Diesel's sister?
I think so.
I've absorbed like 2% of the plot of this movie, which is fine, and I haven't really missed anything that matters.
I don't think you have.
I just don't know anyone's name, except
Paul Walker, Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel's character's name is Dom Toretto, something like that.
That sounds right.
I don't know what Paul Walker's name is.
Is this what Lost Highway is like? Just two people driving in a car?
Don't make me think of a movie as good as Lost Highway while I'm watching this shit.
What would the Fast and Furious be like had
David Lynch.
directed it?
Unrecognizable and 17 million times better.
In some bizarro world where people give David Lynch this script and somehow it's like, you have to direct this, but you can't change any of the scripts.
I think he would just change a lot of it anyway. He would be like, first of all, it's going to take place in the 50s. Or is it the 50s? It's some timeless place that seems sort of like the 1950s, but not. And, well, suddenly now I'm like looking at this as if it is a David Lynch movie. This shot is kind of Lynchian. I don't know why.
I thought the blue screen out of their windows was Lynchian. That's what made me think about it.
Yeah. Do you know that Lynch was kind of, I guess it's kind of famously known that he was offered to direct Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
How fucking cool would that have been? But I don't know. I think that might have like fucked up his whole like
trajectory.
Yeah. Even though like he got better than ever after he failed with Dune. So maybe he would have made like a kind of compromised Star Wars movie and then like come back stronger. I don't know. But actually, no. He wouldn't have made Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
Because they came out about the same... No, I know. Return of the Jedi was like 83. Blue Velvet was 86. He wouldn't have made Dune. It would have saved him from making Dune.
So maybe that would have been better.
I mean, better for his career, that's for sure. But then maybe he wouldn't have made all these cool movies later. Because the failure of Dune is what made him say, like, I'm never going to do that kind of shit again. From now on, all of my movies in the contract, it's going to say I get final cut. And he got it. He got what he wanted. And the next thing he made was Blue Velvet. Vin Diesel is starting to look like he's in a real cheap porno again for a second.
Yep.
Maybe he's not a bad guy in real life. I just always assumed he must suck so much because he's in these movies.
I've seen him in interviews, and I think he might be okay in real life.
Well, because like just for a second, just there, like I saw like this youthful innocence in his face that made me feel differently towards him. You know, I'm already hallucinating, and we're on movie one.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think you're right. By the end of this, I'm gonna like have such affection for Vin Diesel, or I'll hate him more than ever. Who
I'm
knows?
thinking of
Shotgun blast, elbow strike. He's still in California.
yeah.
They're getting out in the desert.
I've never been to a desert.
This is actually not a bad stunt sequence, even though I'm like just totally unaffected by it. This is a real stunt work.
Does Vince die here? Who we thought was the bad
So far, nobody has died,
guy.
right?
He's not a bad
Has
guy.
anyone died in this movie
No
yet?
one's died in this movie yet.
See, this is
No one dies. They do very dangerous things, but they never die.
yeah, but you think like the bad guys or something? I don't know, because this first movie is just about these like small time hustlers, basically. Although they're in some pretty serious shit now, I guess.
Yeah, they pissed off truckers who were shooting guns at them. Well, guns are okay in America.
I think you're right, though. This might be the death, the only death. That was That was kind of cool. Except you can see the harness on him, or is he supposed to have that as part of
I
the
think he's supposed to have it as like
part of the reality of the movie?
yeah, I think that's how he got onto the truck.
This is the most I've been paying attention to the movie so far.
Oddly reminded me of Terminator. Maybe just because of big semi truck
The truck element, yeah.
and the shotgun.
But this is like actually a well shot scene. And there's stakes. There's actual
Yeah.
stakes.
They
Like
could've
I'm
just made
I'm
it
honestly
one
not
movie.
sure if this guy's going to die or not. And it's getting my attention finally. Even though I don't know who this guy is, I don't care.
Well, he's
He's the bad guy
douchebag
turned
with the
good guy.
message, yeah. He's
Oh
the
yeah,
one-
he's definitely gonna die then.
He's the one who knew that Paul Walker was a cop from the beginning.
Right, right. Letty is Michelle Rodriguez.
I think so. I don't know the character's name.
I don't either. I realized he just said like 4 names, and I was like, I don't know who any of those people
I
are.
actually knew Vince's name. I don't know how I knew the Vince character's name.
Because they kept saying it a lot, and it sounds like Vin. That's why it was popping out to me, at least. Yeah, that's Michelle Rodriguez. Come on, girl, you all right? What is up with this mic? What is up with this mic? Why does this mic sound so different? Dominic! Dominic! That's a reference to Casino, when Joe Pesci watches his brother Dominic get beat to death in a cornfield. He said to no one as Jason was taking a bathroom break. And this sequence is really going on forever. I was engaged, but now I've lost contact again. It looks like Paul Walker successfully saved Vince. Lame. I thought he was going to die a hero's death. Did you ever see the movie, the Schwarzenegger movie Commando? The villain in that movie wears the same kind of like, what do you call it? The same kind of shirt that this Vince guy is wearing. The like knitted. Yeah. Oh shit, maybe he is gonna die still.
Did he die? Oh, he didn't die. Did the cops come to save him? That's amazing.
I think now he realizes that he's a cop.
Interesting. Oh, he is going to blow his cover, I guess.
He did by calling in the helicopter. And I'm starting to think that that girl is Vince's sister?
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be.
I thought it was Vin
I
Diesel's
thought she was
sister.
Vin Diesel's sister.
Maybe she, I don't know, fucking can't tell.
I'm not sure.
I have to double check, but I think the guy who directed this movie is like an infamously like shit filmmaker. Like he just cranks out crap if it's the guy I'm thinking of.
Who was it?
I can't remember his name. I gotta look it up. But I'm pretty sure I saw that it was directed by a guy who's made a lot of dumb ass movies. But big budget dumb ass movies. I'm not running.
He's not.
Where's the lie? Man.
Please. This movie is topical. Race wars. Cops are the bad guys.
Yeah, Rob Cohen, the filmmaker Rob Cohen. Let's look up his filmography. He's done a lot of
Did he
garb.
make a lot of money from this movie? Did he direct all of them? All 8 of them?
No, I don't think so. I think they switched directors quite
Frequently.
a bit. I'm pretty sure. I'm not exactly sure, but Rob Cohen filmography.
Wait, so
He produced The Wiz. That's kind of weird. Oh, he's also done the Triple X movies. Directed.
Drive-by shootings. Drive-by shootings. Is that a thing?
In reality?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's totally a gang thing. Especially in LA. Or something. Fuck, Rob Cohen graduated from Harvard.
Someone dies. Harvard's not the best known film school.
Yeah. Big chunk of his Wikipedia page is just under the header sexual abuse allegations.
Uh-oh.
And he's been. So he did Dragonheart.
I've seen that.
Right before he did Dragonheart, he did Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
I've seen that.
Then he did Daylight, the like really bad Sylvester Stallone movie where he's just like trapped underground for some reason, which I've never seen. I just know about it.
I have not seen that.
He did this movie called The Skulls, which was from right before Fast and Furious, which was a movie about like the Skull and Bones like society in Yale.
I've seen that, but I don't remember it very well.
Basically, like half of his filmography has been covered by on We Hate Movies, including The Skulls and Dragonheart.
I feel like I really liked Dragonheart, but not because it was a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw it, but it looked so bad. It sounded bad from what I heard about it. His most recent movie was one that I heard was like good bad, called The Hurricane Heist.
I have not heard of The Hurricane Heist.
It's well, let me read you the premise here. I mean, from the name, you might guess. It's about these, like, bank robbers who do their robberies during hurricanes.
Oh. Why wouldn't they?
He did this movie also covered on We Hate Movies called Stealth, which is, like, infamously bad. It's about a stealth bomber plane that is run by an AI, and it becomes evil, kind of like HAL in 2001. Except it's like a really terribly made movie that also has like a new metal soundtrack, just like this one. He also did one of the Mummy sequels, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. He's got 3 movies with the word dragon in them. He did a Tales from the Crypt movie that I've never even heard of.
Do you think he helped Vin Diesel get into Dungeons and Dragons?
I think Vin Diesel was already into that shit, but there is another connection there.
I know actors I don't know a lot of actors, but I know actors are nerdy fucking people. You don't like study acting about being a fucking. Never mind. I'm nerd shaving.
He directed a music video for Rammstein, but not the famous one, not Du Hast. And he wrote and produced.
There's no traffic in this movie.
He wrote and produced a TV show in 2014 called Topless Prophet. Prophet is in
Profit.
Prophet.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
I mean, it would work the other way too.
That's true. I still feel like my mic's not working.
It is. You can see over there.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Yeah, I did like a side by side comparison, and there's something weird going on. I don't know what it is. Let me try to just check the connection in the back again. Try it now.
Hello. That's much better.
I think maybe it was just loose in the back.
Okay. Actually, no. I think it's went back to not.
Really?
Yeah, it was like there for a second.
That's better.
Okay.
I think it's better now.
Okay.
I mean, you're still up like quite a bit more than mine, and the movie track. But for the purpose purposes of this
This is fine.
This commentary shit, I think it will be fine. We'll only have to get really annoyed if it's still doing it when we record normally. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's something with no, because mine sounds fine.
Yeah.
So, well, yours sounds better now.
Does it sound better now?
Yeah, way better. Yeah. I think I just didn't. It was like not fully plugged in the back or something.
Well, that's fine. And this is how they became best friends. The moment before a train hit them. Oh no! Vin Diesel just wrecked his car. He's gonna die. Don't kill Vin Diesel. He needs to be in the franchise.
You think he's really gonna die, dude?
Why is there no traffic in this movie?
Do you want your Mandu?
Yeah, I was gonna grab it in a second. I'm just really lazy.
These Mandu are always surprising, because usually you think it's gonna be 8 small ones, but it's 4 big ones.
I was expecting 8 small ones.
Yeah, it always shocks me. Do you want some soy sauce?
No, I'm okay. Yeah, I like
Chopsticks?
soy sauce. I would love some chopsticks if you don't care. They're about to hug and make up. Thank you, sir. Have some of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab one.
I owe you a 10-second card.
One down, 7 to go. 8 if we're gonna do the spin-off movie as well.
I don't think this is technically the end, but it could be the end.
It feels like the end. But I don't know.
It's a weird place to end. I don't feel like it resolved anything, but don't they have to do like one more like
I knew
as the end?
Ja Rule.
You know, Rosemary's Baby. That's a good movie.
That is like a. Oh, it's the original one.
I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, I like it too. Wait, why did it start playing so quickly? I kind of wanted to see like fucking credits. Okay, audience, whoever you are, we've finished one fast movie, and I think I'm gonna play the second one, which is called Too Fast, Too Furious, and it's right here.
Same cast?
I think basically it is, yeah. And I realized Ja Rule was like total just side character. He wasn't a main cast member in that first one.
I feel like I missed a lot in that first one.
Yeah, you did, but you didn't.
Was there a story?
Yeah, it was about the undercover secrecy, but I don't know. Didn't seem to be much of a plot. Like there was vague stuff with like.
There's a street race.
There were a few street races.
What was the climax of that movie?
I don't know. I mean, the only part I honestly really even
the truck scene was cool.
Was that was like the centerpiece of the whole movie. All right. Too Fast, Too Furious. Still very 2000s. Oh shit! What year was this one? I'll look it up.
2004? Let's say 2004, but I don't know.
See, that's a bygone era thing. Like, usually when a movie's successful, they fucking bust that sequel out within like 6 months of the first one. These movies actually are kind of spaced out, considering.
They're all like 2 years apart for some reason. But I'm not.
I think this one and the first one are even more than that. We'll see. Luda's in the house. And now he's going to somehow become one of the main like crew guys of these movies.
Is he in all of them from this point? Except for Tokyo Drift?
He's probably not in Tokyo Drift. I think Tokyo Drift is a completely different cast. And I think he stops being in them.
So what year was this movie made? I'll check.
I got it. I think you might be right about 04, but I still haven't gotten to it yet.
That's 3 years though, right?
Yeah. No, it's. I think you're right. It's every 2 years. So 03.
Okay.
Then the next one's 06.
Alright, so
Then the next one's 09, 11.
We've got 4 in the first decade and 4 in the second decade?
Yes, exactly. And F9 is coming out April 2nd, 2021. Seems to be a lot of like Asian girl fetishization in these movies so far. It said her name was Suki in the captions, subtitles.
So I guess he's not a cop anymore in this movie? Or is he a cop now?
It's a good question, really.
He works at the garage?
Because he ends up being in all these movies until like the 6th one or something. I heard that they do something in the I think it's the 7th one where they like CGI him, and it's just in the last scene of the movie, and it's like this send off. It's like him, like it looks like he's going to heaven or some shit.
Oh, so they do the Princess Leia thing.
But they also don't really like explain why he stops being in the movies. I'm pretty sure I heard. I don't know. We'll get there eventually. Or they did something where like they got one of his brothers to like be the stand-in, and then they just like manipulated his face with CG to make it look more like Paul Walker.
Does he have a lot of brothers?
I don't know. I might even be completely misremembering that. I shouldn't know this much about movies I've never seen. Movies that I'd never wanted to see.
Were you doing it?
Now he's like a fucking legend on the scene.
Apparently.
But yeah, I wonder, did he quit his fucking cop job or what? I mean, his cover is totally blown in the first movie, right?
You would think so. Unless he's in a new scene.
You know, I just realized way after the fact that his whole point of like infiltrating the street racing scene was to like break it up, to like bust these people for crimes. He didn't seem to do anything like that though. And now I think he's just in on it for real.
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe he's like rat fucking the police department and just like, I found my new family with Vin or Dom, whatever.
Is Vin Diesel in this movie?
I think so, but it's weird that we haven't seen him yet. Maybe he's not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, I know for sure that the Tokyo Drift one is like a big departure and it was like a huge mistake.
She looks strange.
She does look strange. Oh, she's in this.
Who's that?
Eva Green.
Oh, is that Eva Green?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, it is Eva Green.
Ludacris is fucking annoying already. So annoying in this movie. Is it just me?
No, he's annoying.
I'm finding him so obnoxious. It's like he's just trying really hard. This is like his audition, you know? I don't think he was in movies before these. You know, these illegal street races, they're really fucking like a big public spectacle if they're supposed to be like on the down low.
Rich people hobby, they probably pay the cops not to show up.
But they're like, look at where they are. Like, this would be so.
There's no traffic in these movies. I've been watching. Other than truck drivers delivering shit, this is a world of street racers and truck drivers trying to make deliveries.
And yeah, I was about to just like,
and pizza deliverers. Don't forget the one pizza deliverer, but there's no more pizza deliverers after the street racer said no. The roads are for us and truck drivers.
Yeah, it's pretty nonsensical. Like at first I was gonna say, oh, maybe they're just like they're on some like back road, but this is like a main road.
These are main roads in California, which I hear have traffic.
Here's the thing about me and cars in movies. I start to like, my eyes glaze over, and most car chases, like even movies that I like, when it has like a car chase scene, I get really bored. And these movies are like 95% car chases essentially. Although, like I said, I hear as the movies go on, like cars become less and less central to the movies, and like the way they get used is in like more and more ridiculous ways. Like I saw the trailer or something for one of the more recent ones, and there was some scene where they crashed a car out of like the top floor of a fucking skyscraper and landed into the neighboring skyscraper by crashing through another window. Like that kind of shit. Huh?
Did you ever watch the Russian vampire movies Daybreak and Nightbreak?
No. They do that kind of stuff?
In the second movie, there's this really cool
scene. Oh, I think you told me this.
Vampire. I'll show you the trailer at some point. I actually highly recommend those movies. They're strange. They're good, bad movies. They're good, bad Russian horror movies.
You just reminded me we didn't give our rating for the first movie. Was it a... Yeah, it's definitely bad.
Except for, I liked the one scene that we both liked with the truck driver and the guys like trying to get off the truck.
But you know what? I liked it too. But then like, you took up his break and it was still going on, and I realized I started to lose interest. Okay. So it didn't quite hold my attention for the whole scene.
I see.
So yeah, we got a bad. I'm gonna guess. I don't know. I'm gonna have contrarian expectations for Tokyo Drift and say it's gonna be great.
It's going to be the best one of the franchise.
Even though it's famously supposed to be the worst. All right. I know what we can do to like kind of keep the fun factor up for these movies is this old trick I've learned from years of listening to bad movie podcasts.
Who's that guy? What? How did they get control of the bridge?
They know a guy. Hey, look, there's another Bobby Patterson movie.
They're going to destroy their cars.
Devil All the Time. Bobby Patterson. Premieres on Netflix September 16th. Could be good. He only does good movies these days, it seems like. Okay, so I'm going to keep bringing up my favorite bad movie podcast, We Hate Movies. They often reference IMDb, but they started calling it the IMDb Tribune, which became this kind of funny ongoing joke. As a way of being like, because IMDb is so like, it's like it's like Wikipedia. It's like fan created, basically, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like bad information on there. So they're like, they're making a joke. But I'm gonna see what IMDb has to say about these fucking Fast and Furious movies. Too fast. Too furious. Also, I think this movie totally does not have Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I think it doesn't either.
It doesn't. I've just confirmed for sure. It would be so weird if they didn't show him for this long.
Yeah.
So
It's weird to have these movies about Vin Diesel.
yeah, especially right away in the second. Like he is the franchise at this point, but like it looks like he's not even in the second and third movies, and he just comes back in the fourth one.
So he came back and saved the franchise.
Could be, but I mean they were still making them without him. Oh, but yeah, that's probably what it was. It was like the Tokyo Drift one sucked so bad. And they're like, the only way we could keep this going is if we get Vin back in. Holy fuck. The director of this one?
Is it a good director?
Yeah. John Singleton.
Wow.
You know John Singleton, right?
I do.
Boys in the Hood? Fucking... What else? All kinds of stuff. He directed an episode of Billions, it looks like. Or multiple episodes, maybe. He directed the remake of Shaft in the year 2000.
He directed the remake of Shaft?
Yeah. I know.
The remake of Shaft? I've never seen it.
It's with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I know. I've never seen
I have no interest in it. Okay. Man, I gotta say, so far, I think this movie's gonna be worse than the first one.
Me too.
Because there's not even Vin Diesel, man.
I think Vin Diesel was my favorite person from the last movie because occasionally he had.
Well, he's just like kind of a weird looking guy, and his acting is really stilted.
So like Ja Rule is taking Vin Diesel's place in this movie?
Ja Rule's not even in this.
Sorry,
Oh, you just did it.
I did
You
it.
just did it.
I did it.
Luda. No, I mean what I think they did was they're just like the real star is the conventionally handsome guy, Paul Walker. So they like fuck Vin Diesel. Like maybe they because if you think about the first movie, he was really more of the star than Vin Diesel.
Was it the time that Vin Diesel was making Pitch Black, which actually are good movies?
I mean, it might have been. I don't know what the story is behind. I'm sure it's.
Is that the guy who played the T-1000 in the maroon shirt in Terminator?
No, it's the guy who plays Dexter's dad in Dexter.
Oh, he's definitely not the guy that plays the T-1000.
No, but from that angle, I see why you thought it was him because you couldn't see his face really.
That's the main reason. These are weird camera angles they're using. Not that. There we go. There's like low to the ground camera angles. I'm not used to it.
So he's still definitely an undercover cop infiltrating street racing things. So like what this is supposing now is that Vin Diesel was just he was just like a side of like a disposable side character who just happened to be in Paul Walker's movie.
He was the
That is not what I expected these movies to be.
villain of the week.
But he wasn't even a villain.
He was.
They ended up like being friends and
He
shit.
was stealing from truck drivers who had to arm themselves to stop evil street racing cops. Wait.
What?
Street racing cops stealing TVs from truck drivers. You heard it here first.
Wow. This oh, I thought it said half a star out of 4. It's 2.5 out of 4. It's just a fan review. Okay, no, the best shit is the trivia. Okay, here we go. Universal had 2 different scripts commissioned. The first script featured Vin Diesel's character, while the second script did not, in case he decided not to return.
So it does reference him in this movie, but he's not in the movie.
No, they had like 2 totally separate scripts written. So I don't think there's any reference to him in this movie at all. IMDb trivia is so funny sometimes, how it's literally just so trivial. Okay, so much neon lighting was used in the cars that a technical specialist whose expertise was in shooting neon on film was kept on set at all times. Imagine that lucky fucker just sitting around collecting a paycheck. Hey, neon boy, get over here. Check out this shot. How does it look? Yeah, it looks good. Neon. What a fucking grifter. Neon lighting specialist, my ass. There's some mansion in this movie that we haven't seen yet that was formerly owned by Sly Stallone. For whatever that's worth. To keep the feel of the movie interesting, director John Singleton often encouraged the actors to improvise during filming. Many of the humorous moments on screen are ad-libbed. I'll keep an eye out for those humorous moments. What's that guy's name? Is that Tay Diggs? I think it is.
Yeah, I think so.
There was something, I forget who. Man, this is gonna make me sound like.
They don't like each other. I can tell. You can see it. It's like, oh, I know this guy, but I don't know if he's gonna want to work with me.
So I think
but I have to convince him to work with me now.
I think this guy. I think Tay Diggs' character stays in the movies at least for a while.
And it seems like he's supposed to be the Vin Diesel stand-in for these movies, for this specific movie, because he's got the same
fuck you attitude to Paul Walker. Use the P word. So this movie sucks. He's still pretending to not be a cop. He's saying he like quit.
He's not a cop, but he's working with the cops.
Is that really what's going on?
I'm not sure.
I think he's just still a cop and he's just like lying again, which is just so stupid. Like they would just it's dumb to like criticize the realism the realism of these movies, but like when your undercover shit gets blown like that, they don't put you back into the same the same situation. But I think also they're not supposed to be in California anymore. Possibly. So maybe they transferred him. Because Ted Levine isn't the boss anymore either. It's the Dexter's dad guy. It says they filmed all of this in Florida. So maybe it's supposed to be in Florida now.
Maybe.
Because I don't know why you would film in Florida and try to pass it off as California. That's kind of dumb. Don't you think? I mean, they look pretty different.
They do. Did they film the first one in Florida too?
I doubt it. That truck scene looked like that was really the desert. And why would you? Yeah, I mean, like, it's a Hollywood movie. It'd be so funny though if they went to Florida and were like, just pretend it's California. One of my friends was on house arrest when we were like in high school.
Did you have an ankle thing like that?
He did. He had a fucking ankle thing on.
You could not worry about that shit and people would maybe just stay home.
Well, like he stayed home and I would like come like visit him like when I got done with school. I mean, he must have been Huh?
Tried to run away to Scotland?
No, that was way before. That was when I was like 14 years old. No, but like I would come over to his house and he'd be like bored out of his mind. And while he was on like house arrest, we would just like get high together. There's something kind of funny about that. I forget what he got put on house arrest for. Something involving getting drunk and like breaking something. I think he broke somebody's window. I don't remember now. That must have been at the tail end of high school because you have to be 18, I think, to get like the house arrest treatment.
Yeah. What did he do?
So I believe it was something about him getting really drunk and like breaking something, like breaking some person's window or something like that. I punched a window out once when I was drunk, and actually, I didn't get arrested, but the cops were involved, and I had to go to court and pay a fine.
Oh, that sucks. You didn't pay for the window, I guess? Or?
I paid for the window. It was my friend's house, and I was just like, I had a thing for this girl who didn't reciprocate.
You punch her window out?
I did. I mean, very much for the best that nothing ever happened between us anyway. But at the time, I wasn't feeling that way, and I think like I just remember I was drinking whiskey, which I did a lot of back then, like almost exclusively, and I blacked out really quick, and I guess I started like talking shit to her, and there were like a bunch of people over, other friends, and like I was sort of dragged out of the house, and I was like trying to get back in, and I just fucking punched the window. It was like the window to like their front door, and this was in Milwaukee, where like you need your house locked up tight or you're fucked.
Is there a lot of crime in Milwaukee? Is there a lot of crime in Milwaukee?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Lot. There was like all kinds of shootings, and it's like a really racially segregated town as well. It doesn't help things. But yeah, so like she called the cops on me, and they came to my, like by the time the cops were involved, they came to my house. I went home, and I was still like drinking, and somehow the cops, they could have arrested me. I'm pretty sure they were in their rights to do so. But I think my friend who called the cops basically just said that they wanted me to pay for the window. And that's basically what the cops told me, but they still wrote me a ticket, said I had to go to court. But then I patched things up with my friend, and she came to court with me and like actually testified that like everything was cool basically, and like the whole thing got dropped, which was good.
That's very good.
Yeah, it was like a vandalism charge, I guess. Probably, yeah. I remember being worried when my background check was going through that might still like sneak through somehow, even though I was pretty sure it was.
I had a thing expunged from my record from when I was 18.
I had a bunch of stuff too, man, that I don't remember getting expunged. Like I got arrested for underage drinking when I was like 20, but still it was like a crime on my record. I actually went to jail for that. For a few hours, basically.
Yeah, I went to jail for a few hours too.
And
for underage drinking, but for something similar. For theft of government property.
What did you steal?
Street signs. Lots of street signs. Not like a street sign. Me and a friend stole like 30 street signs in the same night. And then we went to Waffle House to do some coffee. And then I noticed there were some cops hanging out by my car. And
So somebody got your license plate.
Yeah. And
This must be the mansion that Stallone used to own.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What's it like to own a fucking mansion? I can't imagine owning a mansion.
Me either. Who is this weird guy?
I guess he's hiring drivers.
She's not like an amazing actress, but for the
She was a cop. Is she
But-
not a cop in this movie? Yeah, but
but for the quality of acting that goes on in these movies, she stands out as like someone who's actually acting. Like, do all these other guys are just like these wooden like nobodies.
they're bad enough to make Paul Walker not seem terrible.
Yeah, I mean, but he's also part of the problem. Like next to Eva Green,
Yeah.
I mean, he's making her look better, is what I'm saying. So I was saying maybe the appeal of these movies was like teenage boys, and I still stand by that. But there's got to be something else going on here. Why do these movies keep getting made? I guess, I don't know, cars. People love cars.
Americans associate cars with freedom.
And they are action movies, technically speaking, but like the action's so boring to me.
One of the few things that Americans get to do, and probably one of the only laws every American's broken, is driving too fast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's that whole like symbol of freedom, like you're literally like
You can just go out on
autonomous.
the road whenever you want to.
Yeah, but it's just, it's obviously like still kind of that was all right. That was a cool kind of, if that was a practical thing, which I think it was, that was kind of cool. It's like gonna be like the height of any sort of compliment to these movies. That was kind of cool. When that car got ran over, that was kind of cool. Why do they call him Rome?
I don't know.
It'd be cool if it was spelled Roam, like a like you can't tie this guy down. He's always roaming. Backwards driving is kind of badass. Brian O'Connor, that's his name. We just figured out his name after 1.5 movies.
Did he ever announce his last name in the last movie?
I didn't even know his name was Brian at all. I feel like it's going to be so glorious when these movies get better. And I'm glad I know that they're going to. Because, man, this is kind of bleak. But I'm in it to win it, man. We're going to watch the fucking last 20 years pass before our eyes, and about, what did I calculate it out to? About 16 hours?
Yep.
A little less if we knock off all the end credits. Be about, I'd say about